Okay, so I'm Suggestion Megan, me as a student and my teammate Sang Abil will start to present our group assignment. Okay, first question. How might the recent US election influence the Federal Reserve monetary policy and its decision on interest rate? Okay, to answer this question, we need to understand about Trump policy terms. Okay, I break into three parts for easy to understand. First is tax. Okay, Trump always suggests to make a huge tax reduction, not matter about corporate tax or individual tax. Okay, this will increase the people and firms disposable income, then encourage the more consumption and investment in US. Okay, and as we know, theoretically, rise in aggregate demand will lead to increase in the US inflation rate. Okay, second part is credit. As we know, Trump always call himself, as tariff, Mr. Tariff. He is advocate a significant increase in tariff, which will lead to make imported goods become more expensive for Americans, and this also will attract the FDI inflow. And overall, the US inflation also will increase. Okay, third part is about immigration. Okay, as we know, Trump always suggests to strict control and limit the immigrants. This will reduce the labor supply and raise the average salary for workers, which will affect all sectors. So, what the it also will increase the US inflation rate. Okay, so as we see, all of policy will lead to more higher expected inflation. And according to expectation argument physics curve, higher expected inflation will rise the actual inflation as firm and worker adjust price and wage of rising costs. Okay, so my final answer for this question is Federal Reserve will implement tight monetary policy or postpone the implementation of easing monetary policy, and it also will stop decreasing the interest rate. Okay, second question. How could the US fiscal gap sustainability concern affect the FDI inflow into US? Okay, okay. First, we need to know now US was facing unsustainable fiscal gap. Yeah. Okay, this will lead to the government sells more bonds to fill this fiscal gap. Okay, and it will result in the increase of US money supply. And as we know, according to quantitative theory of money, when money supply increase and velocity of money remain constant, and then the price will rise and lead to inflation. Okay, so depreciation of US dollar will happen and increase the US imported cost. Okay, when this situation happen, FED will increase the interest rate, and this will lead to appreciate of US dollar. The strongest US dollar make the US asset become more expensive for foreign investor, and the reduce of FDI into US as support by Romy and Fermi research paper who found a negative relationship between US dollar exchange rate and FDI inflow. So final answer is the unsustainable US fiscal gap will reduce the US FDI inflow. Okay, as you see. Okay, third question. Related the change in US interest rate to shift the US dollar exchange rate and discuss their implication or for trade competitiveness. Okay, I use ISLM and BOP model to answer this question. Okay, you can see. Here is impact of interest rate even though increase or decrease. First, when interest rate increase will lead to capital inflow in US. Then will lead to dollar US dollar appreciation. because increased demand of the US dollar and rise its value. Okay, for trade openness, which question us is this will reduce US trade competitiveness. Yeah. Okay, this because the US export become more expensive, import become cheaper, and trade deficit, of course, will become worse. Okay, for model dynamics, which is LN curve will shift outward, BOP curve will shift to the right, and IS curve shift to the left, as the previous slide graph show. Okay, so, and then for if the interest rate decrease, will lead to capital flow, US dollar depreciation, and then improve the US trade competitiveness. This because US export become more cheaper, import become more expensive, and trade balance will be improved. Yeah. And okay, and this the model dynamics. Okay, that's all from me, and I will pass to my teammate Nabil.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon or evening to Dr. Ilani. My name is Said Nabil, and today I will be explaining for question number 4, which is the impact of a stronger US dollar on multinational corporations. A rising US dollar, often due to high interest rates, affects multinational companies through different types of foreign exchange exposure. Number 1 is translation exposure. When foreign earnings lose value upon conversions to dollars, US companies report lower revenues and profits. To mitigate this, firms like Coca-Cola use hedging strategies. Number 2 is transaction exposure. A stronger dollar reduces the value of foreign currency receivables, impacting cash flow and for profitability. Companies use forward contracts to hedge against the risk. Economic exposure. Long-term effects include making US exports more expensive and less competitive, especially in emerging markets where weaker currencies reduce purchasing power. This shows why multinational firms actively manage currency risks to protect their financial stability. For question number 5, the answer should be high treasury issuance and its market impact. When US government increase treasury issuance, higher bond yields, which more bonds in the market push yields up, making borrowing more expensive. Next is market volatility. Rising yields may trigger bond sell-offs, increasing market uncertainty. Third is investor sentiment and inflation concerns. If investors worry about national debt or inflation, they demand higher risk premiums, further increasing yields. Last but not least is economic effects. Higher yields make borrowing costlier for consumers and businesses, slowing economic growth. This highlights how fiscal policy and debt management directly affect financial markets. For the last questions, US elections and the balance of payments. Elections influence the US balance of payments through fiscal policy, trade agreements, and foreign investments. Fiscal policy and trade balance, which includes expansionary policies, can boost imports, worsening the trade deficit. Rising national debt may weaken the dollar, helping exports but making imports expensive. Second is trade policies. Protectionist measures can hurt exports, while stronger trade partnerships may improve the trade balance. Last but not least is FDI, which is foreign direct investment. Business-friendly policies attract foreign investments, strengthening the capital account, while restrictive policies deter investors. Ultimately, election outcomes shape trade, investment flows, and the economy's external position. That's all from me. Thank you.